How was it individualized for you?
Well, I was set up with Sheila West, and I've been under treatment for about 7 months, and she's the only one that touched me, and that's the best. I mean, you're not being handed around a different therapist every time you come in, and she knows the progression, and outcome was good.
So you want to talk a little bit more about your relationship with your therapist?
Well, she dealt with my pain level, and I had a lot of issues with scar tissue, and the process that she used on it, I look forward to coming into therapy, which is not necessarily the norm, but I always felt good after I'd been worked on.
Okay, let's talk a little bit more about that process, the Mettler release technique. How has that helped you physically?
Well, one of the big issues I had was pain, and the surgery alleviated a lot of it, but it didn't take all of it away. And the Mettler process it's state of the art. I mean, you don't see that anywhere else. I've been to other facilities for therapy within the community, and Mettler's head and shoulders above them.
What was your life like before therapy?
It's been a long, drawn-out process with this injury, and prior to the last surgery, I was in pretty bad shape. I was standing all the pain I could stand, and I had no function of the right arm above waist height, and it just wasn't real good.
So what activities are you able to do now that you weren't able to do prior?
Well, I can take care of all my daily needs. I don't have I've got what they call a functional arm, and it allows me to raise it above my head, and I've got all the motion that you'd have normally. I just don't have the strength, and I can put dishes away in the cabinet, or I can dress myself, and all the little things you don't think of when you're normal and 18. So,
would you recommend Mettler therapy, and why?
Well, I was introduced to Paul Mettler by the gentleman I worked for, and it's turned out to be one of the best experiences of medical treatment that I've had my whole life. And you can have a great surgeon, but if you don't go into therapy with a positive mentality from your side, meeting a good therapist, you're not going to get the maximum results out of the surgery. You're just wasting everybody's time, and Mettler has it. I mean, it's.
What would you tell a friend needing therapy who was considering Mettler therapy? How would you answer me back in a full sentence?
Well, if somebody's seriously looking at Mettler, obviously they probably come out and talk to somebody, or they know somebody that's been there, hopefully, or just do it. I mean, you compare what's available in your community normally, and things have to get really bad for you to go to a Mayo Clinic or Johns Hopkins or Barnes. But you always come back and normally get your therapy at home. Mettler has got a process that goes further than what's available in the area otherwise. And if you come here, you're going to go away feeling like you're lucky. Well, my normal therapy ended, and surgeon and everybody said I'd completed as much recovery as I was going to get. And although I was really satisfied with everything I got, I wasn't satisfied with what I had attained personally, and I was fearful that if I just left and went home, I wouldn't have enough discipline to continue the exercise, and I would regress in my progress, and I didn't want that to happen. So I tried to build in a little bit of regimen into my week where I'd have to go in to work with Garrett and hopefully get come out of it with a self-program that I could maintain myself, come in, use the facility, and not necessarily work with a trainer anymore, but I would have a regimented program that I could do that would try to prolong my physical well-being.
How has the transition from therapy to rehab fitness helped you improve?
Well, like I've said before, I've been dealing with this for about 18 months, and a lot of it I was just absolutely tied to a recliner, or I couldn't do anything, and I physically went down. This has built up my overall strength, and it's making me sore in places I haven't been sore in a while, and it's made me stronger. I feel better.
Would you recommend rehab fitness to someone who finishes therapy?
Yeah, without any question. I think for most people, unless you're in the Army for the first 6 months and they're making you do physical training, it's hard to discipline yourself to routinely exercise at home. And the atmosphere here is great. The selection of equipment is great, and the staff. I've been coming here long enough. I think I'm on the free lunch program, but I recognize a lot of faces, and they always speak, and it's just a nice atmosphere. You don't have to spend all day here. You can come in and spend 30 minutes, an hour, and get a workout, and you feel good when you leave.
Don, tell me about your relationship with Garrett, who does rehab fitness with you. How has he been able to really help you, and how has he helped you?
Well, he asks a lot of questions about your, not necessarily your personal life, but what you do, and it's interesting to see over the last few weeks where he has structured my exercise to things that I do at home, and to try to compensate for some of the lack of strength in my right arm, which it's not going to be Superman strength ever again, and but he's maximizing what I can get out of it. And he's got a great personality. I think some of that comes with the fact he's only 18, but he's a good person.
Don, is there anything you want to add to?
Well, like I've said to you before, this is an opportunity for me to thank Mettler, and there's a lot of people I owe thanks to for the care that I've gotten from surgery to here, and the person that I worked for that actually got me into Mettler initially, owe him a lot of thanks. But anybody that has, I don't care whether it's weight issues they want to deal with, whether it's post-therapy exercise that they're interested in, this is the place to do it. It's a beautiful facility. The staff is very apparent that it's a team affair, and if you have a need in that area, this is the place to come. You won't find any better.